Let's go. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the greatest of all time. Said I'm coming for everything. You good, but to be great, you gotta have confidence. The next level was legend. You gotta have accomplishments. In any league, they considering me dominant. The long falls, you know the pit of defeat, bottomless. I was hungry way before I got your support. I hopped off the porch around the time that y'all got awards. Lyrical exercise, this what I call a sport. The fourth bar, brother, but I pushed the rock off the court. I got champion genetics. Champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. The chattermouths who talent don't average out. If your flow ain't nowhere near this caliber, that don't count. Competition get flattened out. Getting money like I went top 3 in the first round. My salary that amount. They want my style, but that ain't much to be flat about. I take it as a challenge when rappers calling my status out. One of the best, and they ain't my pedigree. You can have the rings, Story did it, AI's legacy. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. Next level. One of the best. Next level. I'm coming for everything. Everything. I am the great. Remember me.
It's more than a game. Don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my gang.
The sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the Cleveland Browns and the Washington Commanders. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Second down and a run by Robinson. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. He'll take this to the 46.
Well, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Robinson. And he's going to be met at about the 43.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll run with Gibson. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On first down, right back to Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Hal's throw complete to Dotson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So an 8-play drive gets him down there, but play number 9, that winds up a missed field goal.
And they definitely moved the ball well. That's a drive where you hate to come away with nothing.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
From the 39, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Watson now to throw. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. Here's Corey Bojorquez now. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And this is going to be a Commander's 1st down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On the counter, this is Robinson. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Throwing here, Howell. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Tariq Castro Fields who picked it, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Robinson up the middle. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Little bootleg here. Howell. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Third and long, here's Howell. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown out a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
The Browns drive about to get started. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now it's Watson. He's got a man, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Donovan Peoples-Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third and a few inches. Robinson will try to pick it up. And this is going to be a Commander's first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This time they'll throw it with Howell. He completes this to Cole Turner. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Howell to the air on 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Second down, Howell back to pass. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Howell to throw on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Well, you know me. Whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Now Howell. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Bass is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The Browns drive about to get started. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 34-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Second and 10. Now Watson. That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
York able to send this one through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here, as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run it again with Chubb. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw is Watson. Open man is Waddle, complete. And some room to work. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jalen Waddle with career touchdown number 60. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Handoff now to Robinson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And Howe will throw it. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Now Chubb on 1st down, able to work his way forward for about 5.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his 2nd drop, indeed, not a good look. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb, and this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And oh, it's complete. What a catch at the 7. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
I didn't like the play call. I loved it. Running situation for sure on 4th and short. They got the defense to commit too many men in the box to stop the run and have the guts to go for the pass instead. And as a result, they're set up 1st and goal.
They'll run with Chubb, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Watson. Touchdown, Browns. Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Browns take a 3-touchdown lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. First and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at their 25-yard line. They'll start with a give to Robinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Robinson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 71 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Second down. Hal now. That's out to the flat for Gibson. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. 3rd and 7 now.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. And now again, the play clock's going to run out on him. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Howell, he'll look to throw it. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line. A third down gain of 19. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. This one left side caught by Gibson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Under 10, 10.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there. Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Howell from the gun. Throw left side complete. That's Gibson. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Fourth down, Howell, desperation time. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first. And this Browns defense stands tall. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And We've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. A 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
6 DBs on the field for Washington on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And again, it's Chubb. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 60 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Browns, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
it's a loss that could wind up costing them a first-round bye as they dip to 9-3. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.